Hi, welcome to Art. Today we're talking about shapes and shapes in our surroundings. So you might not be out in the country, like where these pictures were taken by Ellsworth Kelly, but some of them don't have to be in the country. Here's a big barn, and I'm thinking about shapes because yesterday we read a book about shapes in the city. And so I'm noticing on this barn, Ellsworth made a lot of photographs, and then he also made a lot of sculptures and a lot of drawings of shapes. And they're very big shapes usually, and very graphic shapes. Graphic means like very bold or very easy to see. And so I wanted to show you where some of these ideas about shapes show up in the photography. And so I'm going to take the drawing tool and show. So what do we think? What shape are we seeing here? A big triangle, right? There's a big triangle. We see that the barn is also made up of almost a square, right? A rectangle. Another rectangle. And this is almost a square. And when we think about drawing a barn, it becomes a little bit easier to see how you could draw a barn when you break down the shapes, right? And here we have wheat in the front, which makes these lovely shapes as well, these curvy shapes. So there's that. Let's look at another one. So that would be a shape in our surroundings. And then sometimes there's shapes that are made by shadows. And this shape is made because there's an overhang here, a part of the building that sticks out. And then here, there's a board underneath, and it makes this triangle shadow. And then this dark place is also a shadow. So I'm going to draw it on here. So here's the part that makes the top part of this sort of almost like a flattened diamond shape, right? And then down here is the rest of the diamond. Oops. I am not so wonderful with drawing this with this tool, but there you have. So this shape here. Let's look at some more shapes. Here's a shape of light. There's a window, right? We're looking at the side of a building, maybe it's a house. And we have this shape of light from where the light is coming in, coming across the building. And look, it's making a big triangle. This shape of light is a triangle. And this shape is a window. And it's almost a rectangle, but we're seeing it from the side, so it's a little bit of a rhombus, right? I think we'll look at one or two more, and you're welcome to look at this website too. I have the link in the shared information about the art. You can look at all these pictures and see how these shapes work. Here's a shape. Well, it's like going to be the beginning of a square, right? And this is a wobbly shape of shadow and a wobbly shape of light. Let's look at the wobbly shape of shadow. How could we trace this? Let's see. Think about that shape. It reminds me of a letter. Maybe a letter H. Here's another shape of shadow. Whoops. So what I was thinking about today, and you could maybe think about doing it, you know, from a computer, from a picture on a computer, right? You could look at this and make a drawing about it. Or what I was thinking you might do is look at a shadow or a shape of light in your own place where you are. So in the room where you are, or if you were able to be outside, go outside and look at some shapes of shadow on the ground or on a table. And look at that crooked shape, right? Oh, so many good shapes to look at here. So here I'm seeing that there's a shadow on the desk, and I've placed a paper in the space where the light is shining on the desk. I'm using pencil to go around the shape of the light that's coming through the window. Taking my time to notice where the shapes are. It's actually harder to see it in the recorded version than it is in real life, so you'll probably find that you can see a place next to a window or outside where there's some light, or maybe it's under a lamp. You can decide if you're tracing the shadow shape or the light shape. And now here I'm showing the pencil lines. Once I've finished making a few different shapes of light on my page. Pencil is a bit hard to see in a recording. You'll be able to see your pencil lines better. I was noticing that it looked a bit like a sidewalk to me. I'm talking about things that you could do with the work later. I painted my shapes so I could see them better, and I like this dark blue color. It reminds me, so it's funny because it was first a shape of light, but then I colored it like a shadow. I can't wait to see what you do with this project. It's really fun to use a pencil and use your mind and think about our surrounding in a new way, right? Look around and see things a little bit differently, and take the time to notice shadows and take the time to notice the shapes that make things up in the world around us. Thank you for making art with me today.